After high school graduation, Arnie and Ireneo's paths in life diverge. Arnie, armed with intelligence and an analytical mind, goes to college to study accountancy at one of the universities in the city of Davao. Ireneo chooses to answer the call of duty. He trains as a soldier and later joins the experts in jungle warfare, the elite Philippine Scout Rangers. Before we go on with the full story, let me ask you one question. Ever wondered what your soulmate looks like? I did. So I ordered a sketch from a psychic and I got it within 48 hours. I was amazed by the result that my hair stood on its ends when I viewed it, because the face in the sketch is spookily similar to the appearance of my partner, and we've been living together happily for 25 years already. If you're curious too, check out the link in the video description to order yours. Full disclosure, earn a commission if you order, which supports this channel. And so back to our story. Fate had another chapter to write for Arnie and Ireneo's life. A tragedy touched Arnie's family, which unsettled her concentration on her studies. Her convictions were tested when her brother, who was in his senior year in high school, was suspected of supporting a growing communist rebellion. Her brother fell victim to a systems injustice. The injustice done to her family and the pain of the loss ignited a fire within her, and the hatred she felt led her toward the leftist student organization. In the heart of demonstrations, Arnie voiced her disappointment to the government. Time, like water rushing over stones, carried her deeper into the folds of the communist ideology. The armed wing of the communists saw her dedication and recruited her to continue the fight in the jungle where the fight for revolution burned brightest. Meanwhile, Ireneo was worried. His letters to Arnie went unanswered, and his investigations of Arnie's whereabouts revealed nothing. She could not be tracked. Even her family doesn't know her whereabouts. Ireneo had communicated with their friends in high school, but they did not have any clue about Arnie's whereabouts. He traced the location of Arnie's boarding house in Davao City. He talked to Arnie's landlady and she told him that Arnie simply vanished and she had no idea where she had gone. She added disturbing information that Arnie was involved in leftist student organizations. Before her disappearance, Arnie's disappearance had affected Ireneo so much that it pervaded Ireneo's thoughts even when he was on duty. One day, Ireneo's team was given a mission to track communist insurgents who had disrupted an ongoing construction project by setting on fire construction equipment in one of the remote barangays in a failed extortion attempt. They tracked the insurgents in the jungles of the Davao region, and on the fourth day, they made contact with them. Under the cover of darkness, they observed the insurgents, and they pointed out the leader based on its seeming authority to command. Ireneo, being the sharpshooter of the team, had marked his first target, the insurgents' team leader. The team of Scout Rangers waited for the right time for the assault amid the mosquito bites of the jungle. When the first light of dawn broke out, a shot rang out. Ireneo's first shot had found its first target. More shots rang out. Chaos and confusion ensued, and the element of surprise favored the raiding Scout Rangers. After the chaos of battle had subsided, Ireneo and his team examined the body of the slain leader. Ireneo found out his shot had marred the face, rendering it unrecognizable. He knew right away it was a woman based on the length of her hair. To check the identity, he examined the belongings of the slain fighter and found a beaten leather wallet. Inside the wallet, there was a picture. A shock coursed through him. Ireneo's heart thumped wildly when he saw the withered picture. It was a copy of the picture that Arnie gave him on their graduation day. In the picture was himself and Arnie in their toga, standing side by side happily. He could hardly control his trembling hands, but somehow he was able to turn to the arm, where a familiar mole confirmed his fears. It was Arnie. Ireneo's sorrowful cry of anguish was heard over the jungle. In the aftermath of the encounter, the bodies of those who were slain were brought to the morgue at the back of the municipal office in Moncayo to be examined by the medico-legal of the town. The body was brought by the team of Scout Rangers. Ireneo was with them. Ireneo had lost his composure. He was crying unabashedly. He had lost control of his body movements, and he was so lost in his grief that he could hardly stand on his own. He just sits limply on the ground, unmindful of the curious people around. Arnie's family had confirmed it was Arnie. Time flows at its usual pace. The hurts heal, and that incident was forgotten by most of the people, but to some, it stayed and kept resurfacing in their minds. Ireneo moves on with life and later marries Marites. Marites, now a mature woman, had reformed. She is now a professional and has lost interest in gossip. When Ireneo retired from service, he led a contented life with Marites and their children, but the pain of his experience had permanently indented itself on his memory. There were nights that Ireneo would wake up from a bad dream. The memory of the incident in the jungle had traumatized him. One time he passed by the ABC hall, and his sight involuntarily found the marble stool where he and Arnie used to sit after classes. Memories flowed through his consciousness, like water gushing in a stream. 100 meters away from the marble stool stood the Catholic church where their class usually practiced their graduation song. The tune of the song played in his mind. He remembered every word from the lyrics of the song. He felt a sting hurt his eyes. He leaves the ABC hall with swollen and fluffy eyes. The memory of Arnie and their high school days had permanently indented itself on his memory. When he reached home, his 2-year-old daughter ran excitedly to meet him. He immediately carried her playfully. Inside their home, Maritz was waiting for him. She had prepared his favorite dish, chicken adobo. Like water continuously gushing through a stream, Ireneo's life moved on, but some memories of the past remain unforgotten and kept resurfacing in his present moments.